This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by the folks over at Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Ease is the place to go when you want Golden State legal marijuana products that follow all the right rules and regulations in regards to packaging, testing, and labeling. If you're the kind of person who likes to get what you pay for, then ease.com needs to be your next jump when you need to restock your legal cannabis supply. That's ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E. They have all of California's different sets of rules and regulations for marijuana delivery baked right into their system, so you can quickly and easily find out if you live in a part of California where they're active. Ease is now excited to be available for service to people living in Sacramento. One more time, just pop open ease.com when you want easy, legal California marijuana delivery. Big thanks to everyone over at Ease for helping make this show possible. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Thursday, June 21st, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 516 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Our top story today brings us up north to Canada, where yesterday Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that adult-use marijuana would officially be legal in his nation as of October 17th. Prime Minister Trudeau addressed the matter during a press conference, during which he also talked about the possibility of extending amnesty to people with marijuana crimes on their records, as well as the provision of the bill covering homegrow. Kyle Yeager over at Marijuana Moments did a little bit of original reporting on this one and said that the adult use legislation bill C-45 will be finalized into law with the ceremonial signing off by a representative of Queen Elizabeth II tomorrow morning, a process known as getting royal assent. Tom Angel grabbed another headline for his site, Marijuana Moments, with a story about a possible vote this week in the U.S. Senate on a proposed amendment directing the Department of Veterans Affairs to conduct academic research on the medicinal effects of marijuana. The amendment was introduced by Montana Senator Jon Tester and would, if passed into law, require the VA to first issue a report within 180 days on how it would roll out a proper research program, which it would then start up and run. There are still a lot of systemic roadblocks for progressive legal marijuana legislation, so we'll have to see how this one plays out. Open up Tom's story for more background and to read the text of Senator Tester's proposed amendment yourself. Hopping back up to Canada for our final top story today, we have big news that British Columbia-based Tilray, a licensed medical marijuana provider, is planning to go public on the Nasdaq stock market. Tilray is owned by Seattle private equity firm Privateer Holdings and filed papers yesterday with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to go public. One of the notable points on this deal is the fact that Canadian banking giant Bank of Montreal is participating through their BMO Capital Markets division. If successful, Tilray would join fellow Canadian marijuana company the Kronos Group on the Nasdaq market. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out in headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Ease.com is not only the perfect site to place an order for legal marijuana delivery, but it's also one of the better stops on the internet for finding insightful bits of legal cannabis industry analysis that the Ease team has developed using their properly aggregated and anonymized sales data stream. If having a better understanding of the modern legal cannabis consumer would benefit you and your business, then you need to swing over to ease.com, scroll down just a bit, and browse away. And don't forget, Ease is donating 5% of their proceeds for the month of June to promote workplace equality for the LGBTQ+ community in celebration of the fact that June is Pride Month. Open up ease.com for knowledge, legal marijuana delivery, and a little bit of progressive community development support. It's all to be found at ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E. Thanks to Ease for making today's news possible. All right, time for the Blitz. Grabbing his second headline and Marijuana Moments' third, Kyle Yeager picked up news of a new opinion poll released yesterday, finding that nearly 70% of Americans now favor making marijuana fully legal. The poll was released by the Center for American Progress and was conducted online with 1,000 registered voters. Pop over to Marijuana Moment for all the demographic breakdown, which landed just about as you'd assume. ABC News has a good story up looking at next week's voter referendum on medical marijuana taking place in Oklahoma through the frame of religion and morality. A coalition of prohibitionist opponents has formed in the state, and some groups are using religion to push their message that letting sick people use the medicine that makes them feel better would be a short step to getting people high. It's always good to understand the motivations of the opposing side in any conflict, so I'd open this one up to read in full. In Arizona, a group of medical marijuana activists is pushing specifically for the addition to the state's list of medical marijuana qualifying conditions of autism. The group Mothers Advocating Medical Marijuana for Autism, or MAMA, has been pushing Arizona state officials to allow patients with autism to become qualified medical marijuana patients and is in the process of defending a petition it filed with the state over the issue. Another important story to take up in full today. Congratulations to Ricardo Baca, former editor of the now defunct industry site The Cannabis, on the launch of a new podcast he's producing with Civilized Media. Ricardo now heads up his PR and communications agency Grasslands and has titled his new podcast Cannabis and Maine. Right now, there's just a quick 1-minute announcement episode up, but I'm excited to see what they put together. It's always great to hear about new serious industry podcasts. The New York Times takes a good longer form look at some of the possible cultural changes wrapped up in Canada's embrace of nationwide legal marijuana. That's also one I'd open up today. Sticking up in Canada for a headline, we have a wonderfully out-of-touch comment by a prohibitionist Canadian lawmaker that's just too good to pass on. Marilyn Gladu, a conservative member of parliament, wants to ban any clothing with marijuana symbols on them because she thinks t-shirts with cannabis leaves would disrespect the troops, somehow. MP Gladu warned that unless lawmakers banned cannabis clothing, quote, everybody will have a t-shirt with cannabis on it. That will be disgusting. It will absolutely denigrate our country and the people who have served our country and made Canada a proud country. It will deface that, unquote. MP Gladu went on to augment her argument by making some stupid racist comment about people from Mexico and marijuana. And finally for today, Mass Roots, which has not yet shut down, adds another slash to its business model as the marijuana social media network / dispensary listing site / cannabis concierge service / compliance database / blockchain something or other is now also a business portal for marijuana dispensaries. In a news release dropped yesterday, Mass Roots, which lost $44 million last year after losing just $18 million the previous year, said its success was assured as it just needed to convince half of every dispensary in the country to start paying it hundreds of dollars a month for service. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to all of our awesome Patreon listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the listeners ranks of the Patreon listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with marijuana today. Today.
One take, Shay. One take.